this is Dr. Tamar Chansky, and today we're talking about dating anxiety. Can you go on a date if you have anxiety? Is there any other way to go on a date? You are in good company if you're thinking about dating, getting ready for a date right now, and you're feeling really anxious. Please know that that is just a sign that you are a human being alive and well. We are wired to respond to unknowns with a sense of, worry and fear. And especially in matters of the heart, we don't want to be hurt. So you put those two things together, and it's totally understandable why, when thinking about going out on a date, that that is a place where a lot of anxiety just kind of rushes in. But know that you're in good company, and the first thing you can do for yourself, and really a gift, is to accept that you're going to feel some anxiety and accept that and expect it, because paradoxically, you might tell yourself, like, I don't want to be nervous on this date. I just really hope I don't mess up. I don't want the other person to be able to tell that I'm feeling nervous. Guess what? All of those things that we say to ourselves like that, hoping that we won't feel a certain way, what that does is creates more pressure, which creates more anxiety. So paradoxically, kind of a backwards kind of thing, but the more that you can say, yep, probably going to be, nervous on this date, and, I might be very nervous, I might be, a little bit of nervous, I might not feel that nervous, but I might. If you can kind of welcome that, paradoxically, you will feel less stressed. It's a wonderful kind of secret of life that rather than dreading situations, if you can expect that they might be hard or they might be complicated, that actually helps us to calm down and function a lot better. So something to keep in mind. Other things to think about, what else do we worry about our performance in a social situation. So absolutely, letting yourself know that you probably are going to feel nervous will help with that fear, but also just lowering your expectations for the stakes of this date. Kind of forget about the meaning of it. Where is this going to lead, etc. Just trying to focus on the date itself is going, just as an isolated event in a way, not where it's going to lead. Then what happens when you take away that pressure about the future? You really can focus on what's actually happening. It opens up your curiosity, kind of your more spontaneous, you're responding in the moment, you have your wits about you, and you'll probably have a lot more fun. If that sounds weird to, think like, oh, I'm not thinking about where this is going to lead, is that really, but it's dating. Think about even Olympic athletes here. You could say it's so high stakes when they're, competing in the Olympics, and all these people are watching and everything. But if they're thinking about how they're going to place, sort of what the outcome is going to be in, at the Olympics, then they're no longer focused on what they're doing. So kind of an extreme example. We're not exactly Olympic athletes going out dating, but same idea. Focus on what's happening in the here and now. You're going to, perform and feel a lot better. What do we fear besides our own, messing up and things like that? It's the awkward silence. But awkward silences can almost be a relief if you name them. Again, accepting and expecting that those things may happen helps us to not be stressed when they do. And we could even have a little fun about them, to name, here's that awkward silence. Knew it was going to happen. Here it is. Remember that conversation in and of itself is a 50-50 venture. So you may feel responsible that you have to, think of all these amazing things to say and be worried about, can you do that? Remember that it's a give and take the other person is going to be contributing to. At the same time, you may feel better going in with a little bit of a cue card, and you might even bring it out. Kind of campy, but you could have your list of questions. There are lots of places online that you can find, hundreds or thousands of questions that you can use on a date, but you may have your personal favorites, asking about, what someone's favorite cereal is, what their favorite TV show was when they were a kid, or superhero, or who they would want to have dinner with, what is their, a guilty pleasure that they have on Netflix. Any questions like that, or any questions at all. If you have a script, you might really be able to relax into what you're doing. And what happens when you ask a question, it's great to really listen to the answer and ask some more questions because of that. The other person will do the same, and generally conversation flows from there. So going back to that idea of looking at this date as just one isolated event in your life, of course, because it is your life, you want to have the best time that you can. So try to, as much as possible, kind of lean back and enjoy trying to make just an enjoyable and interesting conversation for your sake, as well as your dates, because this is your life. And if it turns out that this encounter ends after that interaction, really do a very good job of accurately interpreting what that means. We can, with disappointment, we can be very easily irrational. It's just no effort at all to kind of catastrophize and go far from the script of what actually happened, to think, we're unlovable, we're undateable, and that those can be very painful thoughts, but know that those thoughts and feelings themselves are also kind of universal knee-jerk reactions to disappointment. They're not personal. There's no, you would find no evidence for those claims if you really, took your worry to task with those. So try to keep the explanation small, specific, and accurate, and also give yourself credit for what you've just done, because often in life the path to our goals are not direct. Wouldn't it be wonderful? Maybe it wouldn't be if we went out on a date and that was the person we wanted to spend the rest of our lives with. I don't know. Every step that you take is bringing you closer to living a life that is, the life that you were looking for. So this was one more step along that path. So lots more ideas about managing anxiety and relationships on my website, tamarchansky.com. And as always, here's to less worry all around and to more love.